Mr. Henry, I'm not quite sure how your lawyers managed to do this, but I wish you good luck.
On October 26th of 2018, this defendant shot and killed 2 of his friends. He killed Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams.
The internet was already wobbling on its last nerve when suddenly, newly leaked footage of YNW Melly. After his release, hit the timeline like a meteor falling straight onto hip-hop culture. This wasn't a normal leak. This wasn't a blurry rumor. This was high-definition chaos delivered straight from Melly's own affiliates. And baby, they exposed everything. The second the clip dropped, people stopped breathing. Phones froze. Comment sections exploded. Even apps that weren't open started shaking from the shockwave. Because Melly didn't just appear, he appeared with an energy so unreal it made the Kardashians look like background extras. The man looked refreshed, resurrected, and ready to create 10 new scandals before breakfast. His affiliates were in the back, yelling, flexing, and basically confirming the entire internet's suspicion that this wasn't a comeback. This was a rebirth. A cinematic sequel nobody was prepared for. And the craziest part? They hinted there's more footage coming. Meanwhile, fans, haters, bloggers, TikTok detectives, and rappers who haven't dropped a song in years all rushed to react. Everybody suddenly became a forensic analyst. Everyone had a theory. Everyone wanted to be first to break the real story. And trust me, what they leaked changes everything. The moment the footage leaked, the timeline didn't just react, it detonated. 1 second people were scrolling peacefully, pretending to work, half watching TikTok, half living life. And the next second, the entire internet fell into a chaos spiral so intense it felt like somebody unplugged reality. Because this wasn't some random clip of YNW Melly waving at a camera. This was crystal clear. Close-up, shockingly calm footage of him moving like a man who had never spent a day behind bars. The confidence, the energy, the aura, it hit harder than a Drake album drop at midnight. Within minutes, the blogs were in absolute panic mode. They didn't even wait to verify it. TMZ-style pages posted the clip faster than they could type captions. The Shade Room interns were sweating, typing like their lives depended on it. YouTubers started filming reaction videos before they even finished watching the full clip. People were yelling, gasping, rewinding, analyzing Melly's body language like it held the answer to world peace. And honestly, the clip did feel like a new chapter in chaos had just been unlocked. Because Melly didn't walk out looking confused or traumatized. He walked out like he was stepping into a music video. He had the posture of a man who knew the cameras were rolling. He had the smirk of someone who loves being the center of controversy. He had the kind of calmness that terrifies people because it means he's not worried about what anyone thinks. The footage didn't show a man returning to society. It showed a man returning to a throne. The affiliates around him made the clip 10 times more chaotic. They were hyping him up so loudly you could feel the vibrations through the phone screen. It looked less like a welcome back moment and more like a behind-the-scenes teaser for a documentary Netflix would die to get the rights to. One affiliate yelled, "They ain't ready for what's coming." Another shouted, "Y'all thought he was done." And that line alone sent social media into cardiac arrest. Fans immediately started guessing what what's coming even meant. Suddenly, the internet became a lab of theories. Some people said Melly was about to drop an album. Others swore he filmed new music behind bars. A few delusional fans said he had written a book. One person even claimed they saw him holding handwritten lyrics in the clip, even though he was literally just holding air. People saw things that weren't even there because hyped up. Imagination beats logic every single time online. Then the legal analysts jumped in, the same ones who graduated from Google University with degrees. And I read one article, and now I'm an expert. Well, started dissecting every frame like it contained clues. They argued about court timelines, release conditions, evidence, lawyers, prosecutors, and things they absolutely did not understand. The confidence was unbelievable. People love pretending they went to law school when a rapper is involved. But the funniest part, half the internet didn't even care if the footage was real. They cared that it felt real. The excitement was too intense. Fans wrote comments like, "Even if this is AI, it's iconic." Another said, "Leak, fake, or real, the vibe is unmatched." Nobody was interested in facts. They wanted the sensation. And Melly brings sensation like nobody else. While fans debated, the rival fan bases went into war mode. People who hated Melly argued he should still be locked up. Supporters said the system failed him. New fans popped up overnight, pretending they had been listening to him since 2015. Even though they discovered him 3 videos ago, the fan base inflated like a balloon at a kid's birthday party. Everyone suddenly had a Melly playlist, a Melly theory, and a Melly opinion. The memes escalated faster than gas prices. One meme showed Melly walking out of prison with angel wings. Another showed the judge fainting when the footage leaked. Someone edited him into the Avengers, calling him YNW Endgame. People added dramatic music, slow motion effects, anime edits, everything except peace and maturity. It was a heaven for meme creators. Absolute heaven. Meanwhile, music critics popped their heads out like groundhogs to predict Melly's impact on the industry. They talked about shifted dynamics, new eras, and cultural resets, even though the man had just stepped into the sunlight. But that's the internet for you. A 2-second clip becomes a full TED Talk in under 30 minutes. But things got even wilder when the full leaked footage surfaced. An extra 20 seconds that changed the temperature of the entire narrative. This part showed Melly speaking softly to someone behind the camera. His voice was calm, controlled, almost to peaceful. People replayed it 100 times, convinced he dropped coded messages. Some fans swore he said, "We back." Others said he said, "Watch what happens." The audio wasn't even clear. And yet interpretations were flying like confetti. And then the affiliates started posting cryptic messages. One wrote, "We've been patient long enough." Another dropped a fire emoji, which fans acted like was a prophecy. Someone else posted, "Time for the world to hear the truth." That sentence alone started 20 different conspiracy theories. Every influencer, blogger, and wannabe insider swore they knew what the message meant. Some said Melly was about to drop unheard music recorded before his arrest. Others said he had interviews lined up. A few insisted he would expose his case in a documentary. And the wildest theory. Someone said Lil, Durk, Melly, and Youngboy had a secret collaboration dropping. That rumor lasted 5 minutes before Durk's fans laughed it off. But those 5 minutes were glorious. After hours of chaos, the conversation shifted. People suddenly became quiet, thoughtful, emotional, because somewhere in the excitement, people realized something deeper. Melly didn't look broken. He didn't look shaken. He didn't look like someone who spent years fighting for freedom. He looked like someone who walked through fire and somehow came out colder. And THAT unsettled people. Because innocence doesn't look like that. Guilt doesn't look like that. Nothing looks like that. Melly's aura was unreadable. And the internet hates anything it can't decode. And when something can't be decoded, it gets exaggerated, twisted, stretched, rewritten. That's exactly what happened as the night rolled in. More leaked messages appeared. Tweets claiming to be from people close to Melly dropped. Anonymous accounts came forward saying they had more footage. Nobody knew what was real, what was fake, what was mixed, or what was intentionally planted. But one thing was clear: this was no ordinary prison release. This was no ordinary footage. This was the beginning of yet another Melly mystery. A storyline guaranteed to dominate hip-hop for weeks. Because if this was the first leak, what else were the affiliates hiding? What else was recorded? What else was already in the vault? Nobody knew. But everyone wanted to find out. The second the full leak hit the timeline, celebrities reacted faster than fans. Rappers who hadn't posted in months suddenly jumped out of hiding. Athletes, YouTubers, TikTok stars, even washed-up reality personalities jumped into the chaos like they'd been training for this moment their whole lives. It was like someone rang a Hollywood alarm bell labeled "Attention needed immediately," and every clout chaser sprinted to their phones. The first reaction came from a rapper nobody expected. Kodak Black posted a giant eye emoji paired with "Ain't no way this real." That alone was enough to send the blogs into meltdown mode. Within minutes, Kodak's comment had thousands of replies, theories, and fan wars. Not even 10 minutes later, DJ Academics fired up a live stream with the enthusiasm of a man who just won the lottery. He shouted, replayed the clip 10 times, broke it down frame by frame, then declared it the craziest moment in hip-hop this year. And when Ox says it's crazy, the internet listens. Then came the shocker. Boosie jumped in with a 50-second rant that made Proust absolutely no sense, but somehow still added gasoline to the chaos. He yelled about loyalty, the jail system, realness, haters, and a conspiracy involving people in them offices. He didn't explain any of it. He didn't need to. Boosie ranting is always a cultural event. Meanwhile, fans dragged in Youngboy's name even though he had nothing to do with it. Someone tweeted, "Imagine YNW Melly plus NBA Youngboy collab after this." And within seconds, people acted like a whole album had already dropped. The internet is allergic to calmness. The internet is allergic to calmness, even when there's no connection. They will create one with pure delusion and imagination. But the wildest celebrity reaction came from a rapper who simply posted, "Melly free." I got questions. That mysterious line ignited conspiracy fires everywhere. TikTok went into detective mode. Content creators pulled out green screens, charts, timelines, audio analyzers, and theories that sounded like they were written by caffeine-fueled screenwriters. Suddenly, everyone believed there was more to this release than the footage revealed. Celebrities didn't just react, they added layers to the scandal. Within minutes, people claimed Melly had been spotted in Miami, Atlanta, and Los Angeles simultaneously. One blurry clip showed someone who kinda looked like him at a gas station, and fans swore it was him. Another clip showed a guy wearing a hoodie, and people said the walk was identical to Melly's walk. That video got millions of views, even though the person in the clip was literally shorter, heavier, and walking like someone late for work. But nothing beat TikTok's walk analysis trend. People started comparing Melly's prison walk, his free walk, and random clips of him walking in 2017. Someone slowed down his movements to 0.25 speed, added intense detective music, and concluded. This confirms everything. Confirms what? No one knows. But the video hit 1 million likes. Then came the crazy twist. A second leak dropped. This one was shorter, darker, more mysterious. It looked like Melly speaking to someone in a hallway, hood up, hands moving slowly, voice low. The audio was muffled, but fans claimed, he said, "I'm coming back stronger." Others claimed, he said, "Time to set things right." And a few insisted, he whispered, "They thought I was done." None of this was officially confirmed, but that didn't matter. People believed what they wanted. Blogs reposted the clip like it was gospel. Headlines screamed things like, "Melly planning secret comeback." Second footage reveals hidden details. Is Melly about to expose everyone? This wasn't journalism. This was chaos disguised as news. But the internet ate every second of it. Meanwhile, the memes leveled up. Someone made a TikTok showing Melly walking out of prison with boss music from a video game playing behind him. Another meme had him standing on a mountain like he was Simba returning to Pride Rock. One creator photoshopped Melly onto the Legends Never Die album cover with glowing red eyes. It was pure disrespect, but also pure comedy. Twitter became a battleground of opinions. Team Melly, Team Justice, Team This Is Fake, Team I Just Enjoy Drama, fighting each other like gladiators. People tweeted paragraphs that belonged in political debates. Others tweeted jokes that belonged in a comedy special. And some people tweeted nonsense just to go viral. Like Melly walked out smoother than my ex walked out of my life. The meltdown reached its peak when someone leaked a supposed DM conversation with a person claiming to be Melly's cousin. The messages looked fake. The grammar was suspicious, and the story made zero sense. But the internet treated it like breaking news. The cousin claimed Melly had recorded over 20 unreleased songs, made a diss track behind bars, and has a message for the industry. The last one caused the biggest fire. People wanted to know what that message was. At the same time, fans started noticing that Melly hadn't posted anything himself. No confirmation, no denial, no reaction, nothing. And that silence only added pressure. People hate silence in scandals. Silence is suspicious. Silence is mysterious. Silence is dangerous. The affiliates, however, didn't stay silent. They posted cryptic emojis, fire emojis, eye emojis, lock emojis. One posted a devil emoji with the caption, "It's time." Another posted a lion emoji with uncaged. The emojis became their own language, sparking never-ending debates. Someone even wrote a 10-tweet thread decoding every emoji, like they were ancient hieroglyphics. But then something happened. That shifted the entire tone of the scandal. A rumor dropped, claiming Melly was preparing to speak, not post, not appear, not tease, not smile on camera, speak, allegedly. He had a message. Allegedly, he had something to say about the footage. Allegedly, he knew about the leaks. Allegedly, he approved it. Allegedly, he had more coming. That single rumor changed everything. The chaos went from noisy to focused. People waited. People speculated. People predicted. Some claimed he was about to expose someone. Others said he would clear the air. A few insisted he would tease new music. Nobody knew. Everyone guessed. Then a third clip appeared. Short, grainy, almost surreal. Melly looked straight at the camera. He didn't smile. He didn't blink. He didn't move. He just stood there calm, emotionless, unreadable. The clip lasted 5 seconds. But those 5 seconds felt like a scene from a psychological thriller. People replayed it, zoomed into his eyes, adjusted brightness, analyzed shadows like CIA agents. They swore they saw messages in the background. Some claimed Melly mouthed something. Others said his eyes held a meaning. Delusion. But equality delusion. This was no longer a leak. This was a legend being rewritten online in real time. And the world was hooked. Because now everyone wanted to know when the third clip hit the timeline. The energy of the internet shifted instantly. It wasn't loud. It wasn't chaotic. It wasn't explosive. It was eerie quiet in a way that made everybody sit up straighter. YNW Melly, staring dead into a camera without blinking, felt more impactful than any rant, any lyric, any trial update. It was a look that said, "I'm back," without a single word spoken. And that silence carried more weight than a full interview. Fans didn't know what to make of it. Some said he looked focused. Others said he looked angry. A few insisted he looked reborn. And many said what everyone was secretly thinking. He looked like a man who had walked through darkness and come back carrying secrets on his shoulders. The kind of secrets that don't stay buried for long. That stare wasn't just a look, was a warning, a promise, a threat. People couldn't decide which. The music industry panicked behind the scenes. Managers started making calls. Labels whispered privately. Bloggers said sources told them Melly's return would create a shift. Some rappers unfollowed people quietly. Others started posting cryptic messages about loyalty, truth, and watching who you stand next to. The industry smelled something coming. Something big. Something uncomfortable. Meanwhile, fans started speculating about what being released even meant. Was it temporary? Permanent? Unexpected? Allowed? A mistake? A setup? People dragged real court documents into the conversation like they were experts, even though most of them couldn't differentiate between a bail form and a library card. But the uncertainty made the situation 10 times more dramatic. And Melly's affiliates certainly weren't helping. They kept posting fire emojis, hourglass emojis, and lightning bolts like they were teasing the apocalypse. Then came the emotional backlash. People who supported Melly for years began arguing with those who believed he shouldn't be free. Old arguments resurfaced. Old clips reappeared. People said Melly walking around confidently felt unsettling. Others said it felt legendary. Some felt nervous. The reactions were all over the place, and every single feeling became part of the storyline. The memes kept coming too. But they became darker, funnier, and sharper. One meme showed Melly walking down a hallway with the caption, "POV, the villain just got his powers back." Another showed the judge sweating profusely. Someone else edited Melly into a Return of the King poster. And the internet ate it all up because Melly's silence made him the most talked about person on every platform. But then things got serious. A fourth clip leaked, not as flashy, not as loud, but more revealing. It showed Melly stepping into a black SUV surrounded by people. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't waving. His energy was cold, controlled, heavy. There was a weight to his posture that made fans whisper, something happened. His affiliates moved like bodyguards, protective and aware. That clip changed the tone of the entire scandal in seconds. Suddenly, bloggers started whispering about tensions behind the scenes. They claimed Melly wasn't interested in publicity. They claimed he was focused. They claimed he had things to say, but was waiting for the right moment. They claimed he wasn't the same person who went in. And those claims forced the internet to reevaluate everything. Then came the biggest shock of the single. Aftermath. Melly's mother posted a single emotional message. It was short but powerful. Something about patience. Something about truth. Something about new beginnings. And that message hit the internet like a wave. People started crying, supporting, arguing, worrying. Because when families start speaking during chaos, it means the real story is closer than anyone thinks. Meanwhile, the industry grew quiet. Too quiet. No rapper wanted to say too much. No label wanted to slip up. Even Melly's rivals stayed silent. Because everyone knows one thing about Melly's aura: silence is his loudest weapon. And he was using it ruthlessly. But the internet wasn't done digging. People began connecting the leaked clips to old interviews, old rumors, old stories. They claimed the timing was suspicious. They claimed the affiliates leaked the footage intentionally. They claimed Melly had a plan. And honestly, it did feel like a plan. A coordinated, controlled, strategic plan to shift the narrative dramatically. Because Melly wasn't just walking. He was returning, and returning with intention. The emotional impact hit Melly's Day One fans the hardest. They posted long messages about loyalty, pain, confusion, and hope. They remembered old songs, lyrics, and moments. They wrote paragraphs about how Melly's voice felt different now. People projected emotions onto him like he was a movie character instead of a real person. But that's what celebrity does, it turns human beings into symbols. The legal world started buzzing too. Some experts said Melly wasn't fully free. Others said this leak was part of a documentary. Others said the footage wasn't recent. The lack of clarity made everything more intense. Confusion became gasoline. Every whisper became evidence. Every guess became a headline. But then everything escalated. A new rumor dropped, bigger than all the others. A rumor that Melly himself had approved the footage. A rumor that Melly had a message coming. A rumor that Melly was about to break his silence. That rumor spread faster than wildfire on gasoline. TikTok exploded. Twitter went insane. YouTube commentators prepared emergency live streams. Fans waited like they were watching the last episode of a series. Everyone knew something was coming. Something massive. Something disturbing. Something game-changing. And then it happened. A verified insider tweeted, "He's not done. More is coming." That was it. 5 simple words. But those words were enough to send the entire internet into hysteria. Because if these leaked clips, these reactions, this wave of chaos was only the beginning. Then the real story hadn't started yet. The world wasn't ready. The industry wasn't ready. The fans weren't ready, and deep down, everyone knew it. The next revelation might blow the doors wide open. The next leak might expose everything. The next message might change the narrative forever. And if Melly himself is preparing to speak, then the rest of this saga. If you're still here after surviving this emotional hurricane of leaked footage, celebrity panic, secret signals, and Melly staring into the camera like a villain returning for season 2, then congratulations, you officially have the stamina of a 2007 WWE wrestler. The internet has been screaming, the industry has been whispering, and fans have been decoding shadows like they're auditioning for FBI internships. And trust me, whatever Melly drops next, it's going to hit harder than a plot twist on Power. Before you run into the comments to argue with strangers who haven't slept in 3 days, do me one favor. Smash that like button like it owes you commissary money. Hit that subscribe button with the same energy the affiliates used when they yelled in the background of the leaked clip. Loud, chaotic, and ready for smoke. And turn on notifications, because this story is not waiting for you to wake up. The next leak could drop at 3 a.m. with 0 warning. And you already know the internet is going to melt all over again. Jump into the comments and tell me your theory. Do you think the footage was released on purpose? Do you think Melly has a message coming? Or do you think the industry is hiding something bigger than we've seen so far? I'm reading all of it, the wild guesses, the overconfident predictions, the emotional essays, and the comments that make me question humanity every single day. And remember, this is Rap Shockerware. The drama hits harder, the theories run deeper, and the truth stays messier than everyone involved.